And remember, boys and girls, if you don't spin to win, it's probably because you're a clown.
Got it!
Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about saddles, particularly short nose saddles. As we all know, they're all the craze over these last couple of years, and rightfully so. As we know, with a shorter nose saddle, it allows the rider to sustain a more aggressive position comfortably and for longer distances. With these shorter saddles, they're designed specifically to support riders with a forward pelvic rotation, which would be important if you're riding in the drops, if you're doing a TT, or even if you ride in an aero position along the hoods, such as how I myself ride. And today we are taking a look at the Bontrager Aeolus Elite saddle. Now this is Bontrager's mid-level saddle, and current price is $150 USD. With this mid-level saddle from Bontrager, you get Austenite rails, which is supposed to be lighter and more stronger than your typical hollow titanium rails. And even with the higher end versions, you would get carbon fiber rails. But like I said, with this one, it's Austenite rails, and the claim weight of this saddle is 219 grams. Compared to traditional length saddles, it's about 10 millimeters shorter and has a longer cutout to minimize soft tissue pressure. Now, Trek recommends when swapping out your old saddle to start by giving yourself an extra 10 millimeters of setback from the nose, as well as a 2-degree downward tilt. For myself, I went with the 145 millimeter width version. Just for reference, I am 162 pounds or 73.5 kilograms, and my height is 6 feet or 182 centimeters. Now, having a short nose saddle might make you look pro, and you might even impress your friends right before they drop you on that Sunday coffee ride. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get this saddle on the trainer back there, and let's see how it rides.
What?
Pause. All right, before we begin this segment of the video, can we just say, look how dope I look, bro. Like, I got on the Chicago flag hat, and even though I'm not sponsored by Monton Sports, I absolutely love all of their cycling apparel. I got on the base layer, I got on the bibs, I even got matching socks, man. I look super fresh, right? And shout out to Dipset for making pink cool again, right? Pink is still cool, right? No, it's not? Whoops. Okay. All right. My bad. So now that I have the saddle set up, I used Trek's recommendation, which, as I mentioned before, I did 10 millimeters of setback and a slope of about -2 degrees as far as the saddle goes. One of the first things I noticed immediately as far as the comfort goes is the more aggressive you are on the hoods or in the drops, the more comfortable the saddle feels. With that being said, when you're not in such an aggressive position, the saddle isn't exactly the most comfortable saddle I've ever been on. Now, that just might come down to making small tweaks and adjustments as far as fit and angle goes, but I tried to put the saddle through all of my different efforts and sessions here. As you can see, I'm doing one of my Zwift sessions, and once you kind of get in the groove and you're spinning at a steady state effort, the saddle is pretty comfortable. I think too, being that the saddle is on the shorter side, you definitely can feel a lot more relief in the soft tissue area when you are riding more aggressive. So I'm gonna keep putting the saddle through its paces. I should have a longer term review for you guys down the road, but as it is today, I'm gonna keep the saddle on. It is a little bit wider than my other saddle, which was the Bontrager Elite saddle, but I think that's by design, being that the saddle overall is a little bit shorter. But yeah, so far it's fine. I'm gonna keep tweaking, like I said, my fit, and hopefully I can maximize the comfort out of this saddle. Final thoughts on the Bontrager Aeolus Elite saddle. And this is kind of a tricky one. When it comes to purchasing a saddle, it's very much a personal decision because there's so many different variables to consider. There's your level of fit, your level of comfort, the width of the saddle, all these things. And if you don't have access to a local bike shop to be able to try out different saddles, you definitely can spend a lot of money in trial and error just trying to find that perfect saddle. For myself, I gotta be honest, I was almost ready to write off this saddle. It really wasn't comfortable the first couple of times I used it. I found myself sort of sliding back and forth, just trying to figure out where my fit should be. But once I did dial in the fit, it absolutely was comfortable for long periods of time. So If you are someone that does ride aggressively for long periods of time, whether you're out on the road or in your training sessions, then I definitely think a short nose saddle is something you should consider, especially this one. For everyone else, I would say your money would be better spent on getting a proper bike fit, because that's what's going to be more useful for you in the long run. Because if you are comfortable on the bike, you're gonna feel like riding more, and you definitely are gonna feel like training more if that is a goal for you. But yeah, guys, that's about it. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.